So this is the Spur from March 1st, 1929. 50 cents, which is fairly high for a magazine back then. This was sort of your jet setter traveler magazine. On the back we have an ad for Camel cigarettes in 1929, but it's a ritzy ad, as you can see. The artwork and the subject matter, it's like, you know, the theater, the things that the average people probably didn't get. This is very thick. It's printed on very thick paper, and it's quite heavy. It is almost as heavy as a hardcover book. On the inside cover, Whitney and Davis costume bags. Look at that. Hand in hand with fashion. Wow, that's one fancy 1920s purse. And on the next page we have an ad for luggage, which makes sense as being sort of a travel jet setter magazine. And just, you know, take note of the 1920s style artwork, which is very cool. Here's an ad for the Gunther Furs. Between the spires of St. Patrick's and the Tower of St. Thomas's rises the new home of Gunther Furs. Fur was a big deal back then. There wasn't a big outcry against it. Lewis L. Allen Garden Lead. Garden statues for your swanky house. Bergdorf Goodman, 5th Avenue, New York. The earliest sign of a brilliant opening. Hotel St. Regis. These hotel ads are very, very classy. This magazine was targeting a certain type of lifestyle. The Roaring 20s, people successful. 480 establishes a new Park Avenue standard. Pease and Elliman, and this is a bygone era. This is something that year, 1929. Everything would change. All of this would change. All of these jet set hotels on Park Avenue and the jet setter life. And these are actually real estate ads in Connecticut, New York City. Wow, just look at these houses. This is just a great time capsule. And it was printed on the year when everything collapsed. This was it. This was the last year of the Roaring 20s. This was the last year of that prosperity when these houses were a reality. Sort of the craziness after World War I. Prohibition was in effect, but no one paid attention to it. Along with the jet setter lifestyle comes the equestrian lifestyle. Riding, F. Scott Fitzgerald said that riding was one of the most important things to worry about in life. Kennels for your pets. Look at the dogs. I mean, look at these ads. It's showing you a different time that really only existed for about a decade. Captain George Fried, heroic rescuer, says, "Reach for a lucky instead of a sweet. It's toasted." So don't get candy. My goodness, get a cigarette. But this is a shirt garter for men. They would connect their shirt with their socks to keep their shirt straight. And look at this beautiful car ad. The new Franklin prices range from $21.80 up, and that was a lot for a car back then, let me tell you. And look at the artwork. Nash 400. There is a finer touch to the operation and control of the new Nash 400. A perfect confidence even in severe traffic is yours. Nash brakes stop the car comfortably, instantly. Gear shifts smoothly, noiselessly. Clutch pedal yields to the slightest pressure. You've never driven an easier car to steer in park. Look at that. And interestingly, there's a big canned ham full color ad on the next page. But I want to say that canned ham with pineapple was a very desired meal back then, and this was still modern. This wasn't like Dollar General fare. This was Vichy France. That's a name they wouldn't use again after 1945. Really, they would get away from that. I mean, obviously, it exists, but the connotation completely changed after World War II. M.M. Armstrong Incorporated, from our studio to your home. You're probably wondering, are there any articles in this magazine, or is it just ads? Because after 34 pages of lifestyle offerings, we get to the table of contents. And it's buried in here between a bunch of ads. Here's another car, the Lincoln, and oh man, look at that beauty. It has the dateless beauty and all the distinguished things. If you know me, you know this is my favorite part of these tours, is these car ads. To me, are just beautiful. Jade, the imperial jewel of China, has become the favorite of American aristocracy. Our collection includes examples of fine quality jade in appropriate and artistic mountings. New House Galleries paintings. Some forthcoming events, horses and golf and tennis and polo and boat racing and regattas and so forth. The Bentley ad, look at that. Who also built a town carriage. Wow, that's beautiful. It's a regatta. Daniel H. Farr Company, furniture. Following in their father's skating shoes, Miss Lucille Brokaw and her sister, Mrs. Richard Derby Tucker, the former Miss Mamie Brokaw. I wonder if they're related to Tom Brokaw. Black Star and Frost, the neckline of beauty in a sapphire and diamond necklace. Black Star. Another car ad, the Greater Hudson. When we think of Hudsons, I think we think of the 47, 48 Hudson, like from Cars, but Doc Hudson, you know. But this is classic. Wow. Color ad for W&J Sloan, New York. Here's a picture of Sarah Jane Sanford. And now we're getting into personality and comment. John D. Rockefeller. More equestrian life. Fox hunting. Not a big fan. Cyrano de Bergerac. Why I Love the Jungle by J.G. Millet. When We Were Very Young. Little silhouette drawings here. Ignoring small fry Mrs. Oliver B. James, who was Miss Angeline Critch, landed this 10-foot shark. Wow. This is a real jet setter's lifestyle magazine, let me tell you. An artist and a lady of fashion. That looks very much like William Randolph Hearst, not the Oneida. Very similar. That type of hat sure was popular among ladies in the 1920s, wasn't it? Oh, that's artwork. That is just the 20s, that style of artwork. Bygone era. This was definitely an interesting 10 years to live in, between mobsters and everything else. Oh my gosh, do you see what this is? This is the White Star Line. To admit that you've never been aboard is often as embarrassing as being unfamiliar with the classics. And the life of today is one of the essential is as essential as the other. Of course, when you go, travel correctly. Choose either White Star, Red Star, or Atlantic Transport Liner. It makes no difference whether you go first class or tourist third cabin. You meet the world's most charming cosmopolitans. The White Star, of course, is the same line that the Titanic was in. And these ships even look like the Titanic in a way. Except they only have 3 smokestacks. But, here's a color ad for RCA Radiola 62. Very pretty. No alcohol, because here's some mineral water and ginger ale. That's what you're drinking, supposedly. These are mixers, so it's kind of funny that they're advertising this so prominently when everyone knows they're just going to buy these and mix them with booze. Effervescent. Bessemer. And there's Vichy water again. If you like this style, it would be great just to have an extra copy of these, is to make copies and frame some of these old ads, the artwork in them. Oh, look at this Packard ad. Wow, in color, it's beautiful. That is beautiful. Oh, so is this. Goodness gracious. Wow. These ads are something else. quite beautiful. Hotel Tivoli, Lucerne. Prague, Hotel Esplanade. Hotel Montclair, London. I mean, these are famous foreign hotels, I guess, to go to. Hotel Cecil, London. Daimler. Is it Daimler, the one that merged with Chrysler? Gleneagles. Norway. The Roosevelt Hotel. Visit Dusseldorf on the Rhine in Germany. Havana, Mexico City, Norway, Carlsbad. Sadly, some water damage here, and I don't want to tear that, unfortunately. Here's an ad for Cunard. And Body by Fisher, always first. Another full color ad. Let's flip back to that. Really awesome. That to me is just beautiful. I mean, 2 pages of really beautiful ads here. Dodge boats and Chrysler automobiles. So, and this Packard ad. I really like these. Shoes. Sporting wear. This is an air travel ad. Marine Motors. I like this one a lot too. This as if you're just gonna drink the mineral water or the ginger ale. It's just funny because everyone just sort of knew that Prohibition wasn't taken seriously. And I love this RCA radio ad. I really like this one too. This White Star Line also, it's just really historical. There's a lot in this magazine that's just really fun to look at. Vertical shops at the crossroads of wealth. The Fuller Building, 57th Street, Madison Avenue. See, and it shows all the different stores and all the different levels. So perfume. I have to admit, this magazine is just a lot of fun to flip through. It just shows that long ago era, that it's so long ago and it never was to be again. The prosperity that we got again, it never was this level ever again. Vichy water. Isn't there like a little joke in the end of Casablanca about Vichy water? Isn't there? Where in the very end, Louis kicks the Vichy water into the trash can. That was like the symbolic way to show that he was I'm trying to decide if I should make this the thumbnail or that other full plate spread. I don't know. That's a tough call. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. And until next time, good night.